Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Philly by Night, Vampire the Masquerade, our Anarch group, our second but favorite Anarch group.
She said it. Favorite. We're
Oh.
the favorite. We're the
Oh,
favorite.
we're
Heard it here now.
Live
You
heard
on
it here
stream. Look
Flip
the
it,
fuck
flip
out.
it. I'm flipping it.
I checked. I don't think anybody from the first group is in the chat right now, so nope.
Actually, Vampire
Okay,
Himbo.
but here's the
Oh,
He's
he's
Cam.
Camarilla, so never mind.
okay. So here's
Yeah, we're
the
good.
question,
Only a
Aaron.
document. What? What?
You told the other coterie when we weren't there that they were your favorite.
Shut up,
So
Emma. Shut up.
But do they have proof?
Oh.
Hold on. Do they have proof of it? Because I'm clipping it right now. We have proof.
No,
Right
don't,
here.
don't worry about it.
fair enough.
Anyways,
Let's make it canon.
Well, listen, it doesn't matter who. You're all my favorite coteries.
No takes it back. That's not how that works.
Tell them that, but I'm not believing it.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. The Moulin Rogue, hello. You are local to Philly, I know. Sorry for doxing you, but you have that public information. And I'm so excited that you get to see more Philly shenanigans. And I love all my children equally, exactly, Scalia. Thank you so much for understanding.
Yeah, I love all my players equally too.
Robbie, you said that I was your favorite person in the world, though.
You're not one of my players, so that can technically still be true.
That's right. I haven't played a game with you yet, where I was like a player. Anyways, welcome to Philadelphia by Night. We have a very wild game set up for you, potentially. I don't know, or Chase could die immediately, and then the game's kind of over.
That would be crazy considering I just ordered vampire-specific dice.
South
you what,
Philly
that would-
rep. Yes,
That
the
would be real sad for me.
Oh, Robbie. Shout out to Robbie for sharing that in the general chat, by the way.
Yeah, that was the point.
Yeah.
They want a reason to start shit, they got it.
The Moulin Rogue. I went to IKEA today, so I waved to you as I drove by. Speaking of vampire stuff, couple little bits of housekeeping. We have coming up. We have 2 vignettes. We've got Juicy and Femme Fatale, who will be playing tomorrow. They are doing a vignette set in Berlin in the 1920s. And on Monday, little self-promo shout out for me, I will be on Folk and Myth playing a mini campaign as a Cappadocian in the Byzantine Empire, which is exciting. And on Tuesday was going to be another vignette with Knuckles and Dahlia, starring Justin and Alejandra from Table Talk, but I think that's being moved to the following week. So I will post all of the stuff in the collective. And speaking of collective, do you like hanging out with your friends in a really cool spot and loving everybody and being good people all the time? Because that's what we are. And best part is no cops allowed without a warrant. And even then, not allowed. Come on down to the TTRPG Collective. It's a Discord server, and I think we're on Ink Got Crit, so I think there's an actual chat command for it. Yep, cool. And it's free, and we want you in the captain's crew. So come hang out with us. And then finally, this is the first Philly by Night game that is sponsored. We have a sponsor, Jody's Dice Farm, all the way in jolly good Britain.
Represent. Hell yeah.
What was the
This is my Tory posture, my Tory pose. Anyways, she is great. Jody creates handcraft game accessories, including especially dice, made out of a faux stone material, which is, I will show you right now in my very fancy The Lost Boys vampire themed dice tray, which is not, that's a different one, but these dice are amazing. They're so great. Look how amazing. And clicky clacky ASMR. And they're heavy, like they're a little heavier than plastic dice and glass dice, but they're lighter than metal dice. So if you like that kind of
That's
weight,
perfect. It's right in like
right?
the gemstone dice weight.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
yes.
the reason I haven't been able to go back to regular dice, like plastic dice, is they're too light.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a
Oh,
perfect.
that makes me feel happy about them.
Yeah, these are really great. The wonderful thing about this material is that it is biodegradable, but it will last you for as long as you live. But eventually, they too will die, and it's great. So they're not like clogging up the landfills and stuff. And she doesn't use next day delivery services, so it's not labor intensive, which is very mindful. And also everything is sourced from local UK based businesses. So if you want a set of dice that comes from a very mindful person, very creative person, very kind person, definitely check out Jody's Dice Farm. If you are watching, you can get 10% off all dice from Jody's Dice Farm for the next couple months if you use the code Philly by Night. And with that,
I did.
Yeah, Robbie did his part. So now I will go through and quick intro from everybody. Everybody tell me who you are, where you are found, what you're working on, and we'll start with Chris.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris. I am Vendorsa1 on Twitch. I am the Lord of Hot Dog in the TTRPG Collective, so if you join that...
You're converted.
You're converted to my religion.
Cured meats.
Cured meats. And I am 10 to my flames on Instagram and Threads, which is where I'm most active. I am on here a lot. I am over on Evandale, which is now called Vox and Quill, as of recently. And I will soon be on Tabletop Tail Spinners. That's actually over there for the chat. And with that, tonight I'll be playing Artem Morozov, the gangrel. And that's it. Emma, you go.
Oh, okay. Passing the ball tonight. Okay.
Passing the ball.
Hi, everybody. My name is Emma. I am the founder and creative director of the Tabletop Tail Spinners Network, which is a podcast network, which will soon start streaming as of next week, which I'll talk about more after the show. Which focuses on featuring marginalized GMs and players, people who you would normally not see at the table or at the head of the table. And tonight I will be playing Josette Pernet, the French Nosferatu. And yeah, you can find me as Tabletop Tail Spinners, all one word in lowercase, on most platforms. Robbie, you go next.
Me. I'm Robbie. I've never played Vampire before. 2 times. I played 2 other times. So if I sound like I don't know what I'm doing tonight, I don't. You can find me over there at twitch.tv/RobbieLandis. We mostly just do tabletop talk and stuff and talk about our tips, tricks, stories, and homebrew cool things. And if you find me entertaining tonight, go follow there. And that's it. That's all I want to ask of you. Just follow.
Oh yeah. Kori.
You're going to toss the ball? Wow.
I mean, there's only one person left. Saving the best for
Wow.
last.
Rude.
You
Who's
can still do
next?
it.
I wonder who's next.
You still fucking toss it.
Hey, Rosalind.
Hey guys,
Kori,
it's Kori. You can find me on Instagram, Lane Saw Chassis, or you can also follow my band. It's a punk, female-led band. We talk about all kinds of fucking shit. As Chainsaw Lassie.
It's a great name.
On Instagram, Facebook, wherever, Spotify, wherever you listen to music. And tonight I'll be playing Rosalind Rousseau, and she is a Louisiana courtesan back in the 1800s.
But in 2024, though.
Yeah.
But in 2024, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, we are kind of in the 1800s in this episode. I just want to say, Kori, I fucking love your album color for your Money in Motion EP. I'm even more in love with you than I was before.
Oh.
And oh my gosh, and welcome to a couple more cam people in chat. Of course, we've got Aetherius. I'm gonna give a couple shout outs really quick while we're here. Aetherius is in our Camarilla campaign, and he is also doing a lot of amazing work with the Camarilla lore building, as well as keeping the conversation going for advocating for BIPOC gamers in the collective and in the gaming space in general. Definitely a person to have at your table all the time. I wish I could like just have you play in everything, but I can't, because that's too many things. But I love you. And also, Juicy, I don't know, do you... Oh wait, I did not type that correctly. It says you're playing tabletop RPGs. That is not your thing, though. So Juicy is a incredible person who plays as a character in All Our Faults, which is one of the Tabletop Tailspinners podcasts, which is really fucking good. If you are kind of on the fence, or if you need another AP to listen to, All Our Faults is really, really interesting. And Juicy has an incredible range based on all of the games that I've seen them in. And their character in, I think it's Michael, in All Our Faults is a vampire, and is so good. Such a good, wonderful actor. And Ondwin, who is in Roll D5, and I'm sorry that this sounds like a fucking, like I'm just a QVC ad, but you know what? Whatever. Roll D5 is another variety channel that centers BIPOC and marginalized players at the table. They play a bunch of indie games, so if you ever have like a question about any kind of indie game, somebody that is on that network has played that game. And On is one of my greatest online friends. Don't tell Robbie. And that is the end of that. So I think we've hit everything. Just a warning again, if you are new to Vampire the Masquerade, it is trigger warning and content warning for a lot of stuff. We talk about consent a lot. We talk about we touch on themes of grief and loss, and there's a lot of violence and gore and sexual stuff. In this particular game, we've already discussed our lines and veils, and a lot of things are just going to be like fade to black kind of stuff in terms of like the big themes, but it's still very dark, and it's spooky horror, a lot of trauma led conversations. So if that's not your thing, then this particular VtM campaign might not be for you. But if you also like to fuck around and find out, that is a very Philadelphia attitude, my friend. And all hail Gritty, you are welcome at this table. So without further ado, are you ready to tell a vampire story?
No.
So is
No.
Whoa, great.
Chase, guys, I'm remaking Bonesaw.
Oh, well, okay. So we start off with Chase dying. Just because I need to see that happen. So where we left off is a bit of a quagmire for the party, as they are technically split. We started the session with Chase in a warehouse that is run by Thinbloods, who are sort of the quintessential Gen Z of the city. They are exactly fuck around and find out. They do experiments, they test things, they kind of try to figure out where the line is between kindred and mortal, and how far they can toe that line. And we had the rest of the crew go and look for him. By the time they got there, he was in a sort of pseudo-torpor. He was rigid on the floor, did not look alive in the way that a Thinblood still has life left in them. And On the inside, the inner mechanics of Chase's body, however, he was very busy. His conscious was sort of transported to the early 1800s in Austria, where he awoke in a top floor of a brownstone home in Vienna, and to a man called Etienne and a maid. And he found out that the body that he was occupying is Francois, but we don't know anything more about that, as Chase sort of panicked, as Chase does when he does not have his phone on him, and realized that he wasn't home, and ran to the roof of the building. And at that point, Josette was able to kind of connect with him in some way. And Chase, in a last resort, jumped.
Could I talk about the reason why I jumped?
Absolutely.
It was a bit of a panic, but not in the way that he would normally panic in situations like this. When he looked out, when he first came outside and saw the city line, the horizon of Vienna, and how beautiful that looked and how different it was from modern day Philadelphia, and just realized, I think, how out of his depth he was. He was surprised that his mind went so quickly back to Artem and Rosie and Josette. And when he kind of gathered his wits again and turned around and talked to the guy and realized that this man was Kindred as well, and he might be able to get some information, and then was promptly told to shut up and that he was still human and hadn't been turned yet. When his beast had spoken up, in that moment, he realized that he didn't have his newfound family here to help him through this, and is now hoping against all hope that whatever is happening here is more of a dream than quantum leap, and leaped off of the 4th story, hoping to send himself back home.
And the last time we, at the end of the last episode, I know that we had Josette was able to see Chase. Were Artem and Rosalind able to see him at this time? I don't believe they were.
I think
I don't
Rosalind
believe
is
so.
in the back seat of the Uber with me. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
so
Okay.
as far as physical body, yes. I'm the only one
Oh,
that's
okay, I
heard anything
Yeah.
from Chase's experience.
Okay. So as we see Chase T-pose and then lean forward and fall off the balcony, Josette, you are the only one that is able to experience this, and you look and see your child. The one sort of connection you have to any sort of human feeling left after grappling for so long with preserving what you can. And it's this maternal bond. You haven't felt this sort of protection or as close to unconditional love that any sort of human could feel in a very long time. And that person disappears from your sight.
As in his body is gone, or
Oh, you are looking at the vignette, you were simultaneously on the roof, but you are in the back of the car. So you can see, you kind of, I guess, to visualize it, you're behind Etienne, and you see Chase's back as he falls.
Oh.
Does she see him as Chase and not Francois? I guess I shouldn't ask that.
No.
Well, that is a
you can
good
ask that.
question.
You can ask that. Yeah. You saw him as Francois up until the part where he started to fall. And when he turned his head for the last time, you saw Chase's face.
And I think in that moment, the sheer panic that rises up in Josette. She has been so, like you said, her motherly instincts have kicked in for the first time in a very long time. This is the first time she's felt responsible for another human since she was not Kindred and since she had a daughter back in France. But how she feels for Chase is a bit different than she cared for her daughter. Just in the different nature of that relationship. And as he falls, there is that drop in her stomach. And I don't think she has any physical presence. I don't know if she has any physical presence in that vision, but I think she would scream out his name and run forward if she was like seeing that, but I don't know if there would be any actual presence or movement there. So that's but that would be her immediate reaction.
I want you to describe how what I'm about to tell you looks to Artem and Rosalind.
Okay.
When you reach out in that manner of desperation, a very human feeling of somebody that I love is going to die. That realization and the feeling of your stomach dropping, that pulling of your stomach expands like an electrical wire, like a blue light through a wire. And it goes faster than Chase could ever fall to the bottom of that brownstone. And you find yourself for the briefest moment in the body of the person at the bottom who catches Chase. And Chase, when you look up, for a brief moment, you see Josette's face, but it is gone in an instant, and you see this hideous, monstrous, pale white, long, angular, jutted, gutted face. Pointy ears, bald, white eyes, the stuff of horrors, and in your elective first year film studies class, looks kind of like Nosferatu, that silent film. But for a second you thought it was Josette. And as soon as that flips to that, to the image of the other person, Josette, you are pulled out and you are back in the car. And I want you to describe how that looked on the outside.
Okay. For Artem and Rosalind, I think they would have seen Josette stiffen for a moment, like almost sit like straight as a board. Not how she would naturally have been sitting in the car. She would have been sort of like protectively hovering over Chase as he's kind of put in her lap. And you would see her kind of sit up as she has this vision. Her eyes glaze over. Even more so than the appearance of them being kindred and not necessarily being alive makes their eyes a little more lifeless than normal people. They're fully glazed over, not necessarily rolled back in her head, but unfocused on anything. And I think there's this like silent scream that like her mouth opens, but nothing comes out. And then as soon as she's actually caught Chase, it's almost like her body drops as she's sort of like forced back into it. And she's just going to look panicked at Chase in her lap and just be like moving his hair to check and see if like he's okay. Like see if somehow he's come out of whatever whatever state of torpor pseudo-torpor he's been put in.
He has not changed. But you can swear, Rosalind, as you're watching this scene, you can swear you saw, like, the eyes shift behind Chase's closed eyelids. Just for a moment.
Artem's just sitting up in the front. He gets fucking busted in the back of the seat. Calm down, Mishka. Oh, I'm doing that too much Arnold in there, huh? Calm down, Mishka.
It's over.
I can't move the seat up any further.
This is what you get for doing that accent before we started.
You can't do happy hour before anymore.
Damn it.
Oh my god.
Kori, you're muted.
Kori, you're muted. Muted.
No. Did you mute yourself on Discord? Probably.
So is there anything
There you are.
particularly bizarre outside of the entire circumstance of what's happening with Chase that Rosalind is able to discern? So I feel like Rosalind at this point would want to use her ability Sense the Unseen.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Just to see if there's anything that's like, if there's like some sort of entity or any kind of power that is taking over the situation that we aren't able to discern.
Fuck yeah. Okay. I think Sense the Unseen is wits plus aspects, I think. So go ahead, because I forgot to fucking pull up that cheat sheet.
Didn't you make a cheat sheet for yourself, Kori?
I did.
Hell yeah. And this will be a difficulty of 2.
So I have a 1, 5, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, you
Perfect. Yeah, you got it. Describe how you are sitting in the car. Who are you touching? Who's touching you? Yeah. What's the layout of the back seat?
I feel like Rosalind is probably sitting, like, she's like in the back seat beside Josette as she's holding Chase. And Artem is probably in the front. And as she's sitting beside Josette, like, she's like obviously like brushing up against her. And she's kind of like turned towards them because like she just witnessed this like insane thing that happened between them. Like she witnessed Josette's eyes kind of like going back a little bit, and she saw Chase kind of just like sitting there like as Josette is like cradling him in her lap. And whenever she decides to take this ability and like actually make it to where she can like try to discern something, I feel like she like puts her hand around Josette's arm, and it's like around her wrist a little bit, almost in a way where she is trying to say that I'm here. You don't have to feel so worried. You have somebody who is here with you. And that's whenever she takes her ability and like pushes it outward to see if there's anything that's there.
Fucking dope. Chase, as you are looking up at this, clearly a Nosferatu holding you, tell me what you are feeling.
It's a mix. I think there's disappointment that it didn't work because someone caught him. Surprised that someone caught him and neither of them went splat. And relief that even if just for sort of a split second that he felt Josette there, and even though you're describing to me physically this scary Nosferatu, is there any sort of like, can Chase get a vibe check on like the Nosferatu beyond physical appearance? Like, was this like,
Sure.
hey, I see somebody falling, I'm like, I guess as they're holding me, I know that Robbie knows that it was Josette that made the move to catch, but like what's their sort of feeling as they're looking back at me?
Roll wits plus insight.
Okay, those are.
And while you're rolling, Rosalind, you don't see or hear anything, but you feel those emotions as you touch Josette's wrist.
Should any of these be hungered? No, because I'm a human.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You don't
Kinda,
roll your
yeah,
hunger.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah. You don't roll your hunger dice in this.
10, 10, 5, 2.
Jesus Christ. So the
You get to roll
tens.
2 more.
Yeah, roll 2 more. The 10's a crit.
9 and a 1.
Brilliant. Yeah. You feel a sort of like a kindred spirit. Kind of.
They don't mean me harm
No.
then in any way. They're relieved that they may be confused, but relieved that they caught me.
Yes, in that they know you as Francois. So it's not like this weird like.
Oh, they recognize me.
Yes.
Even.
Yes, as Francois.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So kind of getting out of their arms with all these emotions going through my head, I think I kind of take their face in my hands and their cheeks. Mommy? No, sorry. No, you know what? That was a good catch. You're the goat. That I was. Oh, okay. I'm real confused is all.
Francois, are you? How? Don't tell me you meant to do that.
Slipped. Yep. Slipped.
There's a 3-foot bricks.
Accidents happen. Yeah.
About to. Oh.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You gotta be careful up there. It's dangerous.
Yes. I'm glad you learned that. That is useful. Maybe don't go. And you see Etienne like kind of like lean over the edge and
wave up to him.
Sigh, like his shoulders kind of sag with relief, and the Nosferatu kind of with very slender, bony fingers does one of these waves up at him. He's okay. Oh, suit the Lord. And he is going to open the door for you to go back inside.
Yep. And Chase heads in.
Mm-hmm. The maid judges you silently as you walk back in. Rosalind, you are picking up on residual like emotions, but it's starting to fade. I'm gonna focus a little bit on the three in the car before I go back to Chase.
And I think sort of as it starts to fade, Josette would move from your grip on her wrist, Rosalind, and just take your hand for a moment and squeeze it very tightly. As you can see, she's kind of holding back tears as she's checking on Chase.
I feel like Rosalind would, as Josette gripped Rosalind's hand, we would share a look that would say something akin to, we're going to figure this out and everything is going to be okay. Regardless of the outcome, we are going to figure this out.
If there is anyone that can help us, it is Dr. Ephraim Gloom. We'll be there soon.
Sorry, you're probably about 5 minutes from Ephraim's place by now.
Okay. Is Ephraim someone I would have met already?
You would know the Nosferatu are notoriously connected in all cities. They are, because they are given the burden of just being like the most unapproachable clan. They naturally take on it's easy for them to control underground goings on. You would also know that there is a kind of like a online network called ShrekNet, which is something that the Nosferatu control.
ShrekNet?
Yeah, it's called ShrekNet. This is before Shrek. But it's called Shrek. Yeah. This is like old World of Darkness stuff. This is like their like AOL online, like MSN chat rooms for Nosferatu. But Nosferatu are very tech savvy, very very underground, behind the scenes, are very, very resourceful. And much like Malkavians have a sort of like psychic connection to others, Nosferatu have a technological connection to others. So you definitely know Dr. Gloom. Whatever you want your relationship to be, you flesh that out, but I will be approaching this as if he at least knows you and is familiar with you in a friendly way.
Okay. I think because Josette has the archaic flaw, interacting with the ShrekNet has been very difficult for her. She's done it a little bit more since Chase has gotten her a phone, but she is absolutely like a boomer grandma trying to figure out how to really make it work, and she's still...
Beautiful.
Would you say that somebody once told you?
Oh my god, stop.
Great.
So she would be loosely familiar with most Nosferatu around Philly, I think, but all of the relationships that she has with them and like any sort of knowledge that she has of them is really formed in person, which is very rare.
I'm gonna say, for the sake of just like building out city lore, Philly is also a very like, I'm not like other girls kind of city. So I'm gonna say that for the Nos that are like inept at like technology, they have like a paper ShrekNet, which is literally those like fringed papers on like cafe billboards that are like cryptic, and it's like the take one kind of shit.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say that you communicate to your fellow boomer Nosferatu via cafe take one pieces of paper.
Fantastic.
Excellent. So yes, you are all about 5 minutes away from the Mutter Museum.
Okay.
I am going to flip over to Chase though, as you kind of walk a shame back into the brownstone. Ephraim kind of like skids down, like kind of slides down the stairs in a panic, and his hands grasp the side of the it's like a Trinity style home, so it's like the side of the very narrow staircase, and he just sort of like breathes a sigh of relief. Francois.
Yeah, Ziggy. Look, all right. I'm just gonna follow your lead here, but what I need you to just understand is that for some reason right now, you said I hit my head. There may be some things I can't quite recall straight. So I think, minor concussion, no big deal. I'm sure that once I'm turned, everything will be fine.
I hope so. You have been chosen for your discretion. That is
That's what I'm known for.
yes.
Super discreet.
You also are. I'm concerned. Please, and he gestures to like a sitting room in the front where there's a fireplace, and the maid comes in and is pouring. She pours a tea for you, and a red tea for ATN.
Can I get some like whiskey or something for this too? That would help take the edge off.
As he sits, he looks at the maid and kind of nods towards her to find something stronger to add to your tea.
Yeah.
You are on opposite sides of this sitting room. There is it's a very old wooden floors. There's a fireplace on the left side of him, the right side of you, as you are facing each other in winged back armchairs. And you can see Etienne is very polished and put together. He's got his hair is slicked back into a low ponytail tied with a ribbon. He has very dark eyes, almost black. They're dark brown. His hair is jet black as well, and it sort of like flickers with this amber glow with the fireplace, the crackling of the fireplace. And his hands kind of lace themselves very nervously on the arms of the chair, although he looks very calm and stoic. But you can tell there's like micro expressions, a very tight jaw, very firm planted feet that allude to him being kind of concerned with what just happened. And he sort of studies you for a moment, and he doesn't say anything.
I think nervously Chase would break the silence and say something along the lines of, "Boy, y'all real rizzed up back then, weren't you? Need to get me some threads like that when I get back."
See, that is what I am confused about. What is going on with you? You said you hit your head? Something happened?
Didn't you say I hit my head?
You fell and hit your head when I picked you up off the floor. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
And you are suddenly speaking like this.
Brain injuries can sometimes be weird, right? But as a kindred, improved healing, so I'm sure I will be fine.
We need you for the Congress. You understand this, yes? Francois.
Just so we're on the same page, why don't we do a quick recap?
A recap.
Yeah.
What is...
like go through the like a quick like bullet points of the
Recollection?
of the plan. Yeah, let's yep, that. Yeah, just spell it out for me. What's
Okay.
he wants to say the vibe, but he pauses. What's the plan?
Okay. We are in Austria at the Congress
Yep.
of Vienna.
Congress of Vienna. I feel like Josette would be real mad that I don't know what that is.
You do not know what the Congress oh.
No, I do. It's someone I know that if I didn't, they'd be you'd obviously be real upset if I didn't know what it is as well. But I do. Can I make some type of check to see if Chase knows what it is?
Yeah, fucking is there a college
Yes.
role? Academics.
Academics?
Intelligence and academics. Let's see how much you paid attention in world history 102.
I'll tell you this. He has 4 intelligence and 2 academics. I assume he doesn't have time to do research for his specialty.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Yeah, you can add an extra dice.
Oh.
What year are you in college?
Probably his 3rd.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you covered something. I think you've kind of grazed over the Napoleonic era. So I'm gonna say you can add a dice for that.
Oh,
Let's see how
this
well you
is
did that.
good. This is pretty good.
Okay.
All right. 9988743.
Shut the fuck up.
How good is that?
So I don't know what drugs you were taking during that year, but that
ADHD suddenly
that
kicks in.
Adderall was like working for you that year. Yeah, so you know everything. You remember, you kind of rack your brain and you remember that the when Napoleon kind of like fucked up and it was the downfall in the early 1800s.
There's a moment where like he connects, oh, the Napoleon shit, and like it all makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and you understand, for the folks at home, the Congress of Vienna was a between the years 1814 and 1815, which is where the Europe decided where everything went after Napoleon went and fucked up.
It was,
all the
Aaron,
stuff.
if I may, it was a series of international diplomatic meetings to discuss and agree upon a possible new layout of the European political and constitutional order.
Well, I guess we have a new storyteller. Take it away, Robbie. I'll play Chase.
That's all Google told me.
That's all Google told me. So yes, it's a political thing in a political game. Who fucking knew? So you kind of you read the room, and at this point the Nosferatu is kind of like in the threshold of the sitting area. The maid is pouring a kind of amber substance into your drink. And she curtsies and moves out of the room, shuffles underneath beside the Nosferatu, and out the door. And you
down the tea in one go.
Okay. And you hear the French accents. You understand you're in it's the Congress of Vienna is what you were just told. And your name is Francois.
Yep.
You can connect the dots and say that you are in some sort of French environment in Austria right now. And he stares at you and then looks over at the Nosferatu and kind of gestures towards you. The man walks over and kind of puts his hand on your shoulder.
This is the Nosferatu.
Yeah. And he kneels down beside you and sort of starts to look in each eye very specifically.
I know that we know each other, but because of the bump on Monaghan, having
Just look this
trouble
way.
recalling your
Follow my finger.
name.
Follow.
Yep.
Shh. Follow.
Yep.
Okay. He looks okay. I don't understand why he slipped, but he looks okay. And Etienne sort of nods and sends him back to the threshold. Francois, you do. I hope you are not suffering from some sort of memory loss, so significant that we cannot rely on you, because if we cannot rely on you to fulfill this particular mission, we will not be turning you, and we will not be sending you away unscathed.
You can rely on me.
Okay. I'm going to give you a couple more points for you to recall. It's very important this time that you do not forget. If you do, well, you can put the dots together. This is your sire. And he gestures to the Nosferatu. He is the one who will be embracing you after the meeting tomorrow. You are our advocate, our ambassador, and you will be fighting for Kindred and their rightful sovereignty in each of the 5 powers, and hopefully, if more, the minor powers that have met for the Congress. You will be seeking power in either politics or land for Portugal, Britain, Sweden, France, of course, Austria, Russia, Spain, and Prussia. We chose you because of your lineage. We chose you because of your connections. We chose you because of your intelligence. We chose you because of your discretion. And your reasonable nature. The fact that you thought you could just stand on the top of a building and leap off doesn't speak very highly of your intelligence, nor does it speak very highly of your responsibility and accountability or integrity. Really a lot of values. I am really putting my neck out for you, Francois.
It was a momentary lap in judgment. I'm good now.
We shall hope so. Is there anything else you have forgotten I need reminding of? Or are you okay?
My future sire's name is eluding me at the moment, but other than that, I'm good. We're fine.
Dear
Would you
God.
prefer that I say no and then need to recall his name in front of people and embarrass myself? Just a name. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
It's Lucien?
Lucian. Yep. Lucian. That's what I was going to say. I was thinking Lucy for some reason, but he's not a Lucy.
No, he is not.
All right. Well, I should probably brush up on some notes and whatnot, which I definitely have. So.
You have a meeting tomorrow. I swear I will kill you myself if you do not complete this task.
I understand.
It is in the morning. I need a full report when I awake. Do you understand?
Sure do.
Have a good night. And he just stares at you.
Is this your house?
It is a house, yes.
Not mine, though. As he kind of slowly stands up.
You see him kind of grip the arms of his chair. His nails, which are very finely manicured, are kind of pressing into the fabric. And you swear you can hear the pop of a seam.
Okay, look. We've known each other for a minute. We're going to know each other for a lot longer. When I'm one of you, I thought I would finally give you a look into my choice of humor.
You
Finger
are
guns.
the least funny person I know. So this is completely opposite of your personality.
It'll grow on you. And he will walk out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Lucian kind of like steps aside.
Yep. And then outside?
As you go outside, you open the door. And Lucian kind of goes,
No, so I do stay here. Yep, I knew that.
third floor.
Uh-huh.
The room you fell in.
Yep, heads upstairs.
Yeah. And we're going to go back to the
What am I
car.
supposed to be doing here? You have to survive till the next day?
And you three head out, or you arrive at your destination, which is the Mutter Museum of Philadelphia. If you do not know what the Mutter Museum is, it is a medical history and science museum, and it's known for all of its skulls and skeletons and pieces of bodies on display. It's got weird fucking hours of operation. It's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So really weird times for tourists where they can't really like go outside of the workday. And that means it is perfect for the Dr. Ephraim Gloom, who actually owns this home and sleeps in the attic, unbeknownst to the museum goers. And he, for a very long time, did not realize that it was turned into a museum because of the amount of time, the hours it was between the close of the museum and him waking up every night. So it is around this time. It's, I would say, around, I think you all have been awake for a couple hours. It's about 1 a.m. And Julie, the Uber driver who is
Josie.
Julie.
Oh, I thought it was Josie.
Julie, I have
According
My
to
bad,
the
guys.
extensive
Yeah, no
background,
kidding.
like the fucking criminal history report that we have from Robbie about this character, it is Julie.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, so Julie pulls up and she kind of looks over at the museum and looks back at everybody in the rearview mirror and looks over at Artem, who had broken her seat.
I have premium membership. It just gets out.
I didn't know that this place was open this late. It doesn't look open. Are you guys okay? Do you
Only
need,
the premium members. That is all.
you need medical attention for your drunk friend? I mean, I could take you. The hospital's like right. We just passed it. I could take you to.
Yet. No. Mm.
Okay. This has
Well,
been.
it's okay. You don't have to worry about anything.
Okay.
We're actually meeting a friend here. And Chase,
Oh.
yeah, he's fine. He's just really drunk. You don't have to. I mean, he gets like this sometimes. And our friend always knows how to wake him up. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you have some
Yeah.
friends like that, right?
I mean, yeah, I have tons of friends. I mean, we could be friends.
Yeah, we already are friends.
Oh my god. Okay. Totally. I mean, do you want me to wait? I could wait.
Yeah, actually, if you want to wait, and Rosalind like looks down at her watch, and she's like thinking in her head, like, okay, like how long can I make her wait? Like, how long is this gonna like fucking take? Um, if you want to wait, maybe let's say 15 minutes, and if do I have your phone number? I do have your cell phone
Yeah.
number, don't I?
Yeah, I put it in your
I'm pretty sure I do.
I put it in
All
your
right,
phone, yeah.
well. If you don't hear back from me in 15 minutes, you can go ahead and take off.
Totally. It's a
But
215 number, by the way. It's not the I don't know. It's not it I think I put it. You probably still have it up on your screen.
yeah, I got you. It says Julie, and I put a heart beside it.
Oh, that's really cute. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, when you call me, I'll put a heart next to yours, Rosalind, right? I'll put
Well,
a
I hope
heart
you do. I
next
hope
to
you do. Maybe
yours.
it's a little sparkle emoji.
Yeah. I was thinking the same
You
thing.
know, 'cause
Yeah.
you know.
Totally.
But we're gonna hang it out, and I really appreciate you, like always being here for us.
Oh yeah, totally. It's
Like
my mom always says
that's
that I'm like so selfish, but I feel like I'm like a really generous person. Like I didn't even get mad about your friend breaking the seat. It's totally
don't
fine.
listen to her. Like you're something else. I'll tell you that much.
Oh,
You are something else.
oh my god. Okay, thanks. I don't think I'm really all that much. I mean, like I play a little guitar and like, I have like I have like a couple cats. I'm into macrame.
You should
Um
give yourself more credit, sweetheart.
okay.
You should.
This
You
is
should.
wild. I've never had like such a beautiful woman in the backseat of my car before, except for like my girlfriend in high school. She was really pretty. So fucking bitch though. She really betrayed me. Anyways, okay. So 15 minutes? 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll say 15 minutes. If I don't get back with you, you can go ahead and go about your route.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we will contact you in the future. I hope you know that, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no big deal if you don't, but like totally.
I'll have your number, so you don't even need to worry about it.
I won't. I won't worry about it. Okay. Well, if you could give me like a 5-star review, that'd be really great. I mean, like whatever you want. Like, be honest, but like,
Oh, we will. If there was a 10-star review, you would be getting it.
oh my god. Okay. Okay. Anyways, your friend looks like he's needs to go to a hospital, so maybe take care of that first. Okay.
Yeah, the whole time that conversation was happening, I think Josette is just letting Rosalind do her thing, but is motioning for Artem to help her get Chase out of the back seat because she cannot lift Chase.
Oh yeah, no, Artem is carrying Chase, like cradling.
Quick clarification: was the sparkle next to your name a Twilight reference?
It is now. Absolutely.
As we're walking up to the museum, I'm gonna turn to Rosalind and be like, "Quit playing with your food."
It's part of what I do. It makes me happy. All right. You should know it by now, Artem.
Well, you will get to feed later. For now, we have to figure out what's wrong with Chase.
Duh.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna give a real big firm knock on the museum door.
It does that stereotypical open.
Step right on in with Chase in my arms.
So
Chase isn't
Dr.
sure
Gloom.
why, but he feels very safe and like held where he is in the past.
yeah, for sure. So you walk in and there is it's a rather extensive lobby, very much like Regency looking inside with a bunch of portraits around of people through the years, all very much old white men on the walls. And then you see a room that is very very wooden, in that there's wooden cases, there's wooden shelves, wooden floors, wooden walls. Very old school museum. I think Artem and Josette and Rosalind, you have all partaken in Victorian architecture, whether it was current during the time you partook or if it was something that was still a little bit on the older side or outdated side. But it is one of those old Victorian museum style aesthetics, and there are body parts, there's brains, there's in jars, there's bones on shelves, there's a wall of skulls, and you hear a very like it's an echo. You hear him before you see him, and it is a comical good evening.
Good evening to you, Dr. Gloom. It has been a long time.
Yes, you have premium membership and you don't use it, Artem Morozov. You bastard.
I believe last time I saw you was in the halls of the Baba Yaga.
And you see Dr. Ephraim Gloom, who abso-fucking-lutely commits to the bit of the Nosferatu, like dark black robes, which you notice are just like graduation gowns. Like it's just it's just thrifted graduation gowns all the time. And he his nails are perfectly manicured. He goes to a place for them and they are painted gel tips. They're long coffin shaped, of course, because it's hilarious, and they're black with the red blood like swirls, like the drops, the comical drops on the ends of them. A few of them you notice as the light hits it have the little bedazzled like rhinestones on them. And he comes out from behind from around a corner, and he says, yes, it's been a while, but no one comes and visits me ever. It's because they think I'm weird, but
Apparently everyone thinks we're weird, Doctor.
you brought Josette. I'm surprised. I put the elusive crochet circle advertisement on the board over at the Revolution Roasters cork board in Fishtown, and I checked the other day and there were no torn pages. Are you coming to visit for crochet? And by crochet, I mean a positive orgy.
I was not aware that this was going on. I have not been to Fishtown in some time. I apologize. But I will make sure to check the board more often. We are here for a different reason. And with that, she pointedly looks to Chase in Artem's arms.
Oh,
I need
this
your help.
one. This is and he kind of comes up and he like does a weird like sniff, like he's like snorting like a coke line off of him. And he's like, this is not a human. Is this a thin blood?
He is my child.
You are a mother again. Congratulations. You weren't even showing the last time I saw you. What is this one? What's his story? Why is he in torpor? He's not in torpor, though. He looks drunk.
Well, that is what I needed some help with. We don't entirely know what happened, but based on Artem's observations, we found him like this. We are assuming he has had some sort of mix of my blood and someone else's, and it has put him in this state. We don't know what could have caused it or how to get him out, but I know thin bloods are not supposed to go into torpor.
No, and thin bloods are idiots. No offense to your...
Excuse you.
No offense. You're in torpor. Stop talking. And and when did you embrace this one? He smells fresh.
Couple months ago.
Ah. Okay, so he had... Do we have to do our little, like, kindred narcan shit that we usually do when they... This doesn't look like a weird blood OD situation. This just looks like... I've actually never seen this before. Okay, bring him up. And he's going to gesture towards his little attic thing, which is just literally in an office that's like an administrative office that he always reminds people as you go through. He says, this used to be my man cave, and then they turned it into an HR room, and it's just boring and smells of depression and disappointment. And he pulls down on the pull down attic stairs, and he kind of like guides you all up. It's like, okay, go upstairs. I'll put him on the fucking table I have, and we'll check him out. As you all do that, we're gonna go back to Chase. Chase, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly shit, and you are...
Time gets all soupy.
Yeah, time gets all soupy, and we are going to move ahead just a little for you and say that you are... it is the morning time.
Yeah, Chase is definitely worried about that. Like, he does not sleep at all, as he's just like, is time passing the same in real life as it is in this? I don't think he does anything too weird, though. Yeah.
I want you to make a
question.
Yeah.
Artem, how much of your background do you think Chase knows?
Depends on what you've asked him. Artem doesn't lie.
I think he'd probably know how old you are.
274 years old.
No, I don't think he would have asked about that or known about that. Sorry, never mind.
Not even during a movie night?
Did we
do a
watch
roll
Napoleon
and see what happens?
Yeah, if you watched Napoleon, maybe.
You know what? I rolled a 99. Sure. If I had the idea and any sort of idea or inkling that Artem may be in or around this area at this time, after they had mentioned like Russia, I'd have asked no, not a nurse. She wasn't a nurse. The maid.
Mm-hmm.
The maid. I'd have brought the maid in and been like, "What's the fastest form of communication?"
We would just send the boy out to run a message.
The boy. Perfect. I'm going to write a letter. Could we have the boy send it to the Russians? This is a tactic. It will play out for us during the Congress.
Which Russians?
One by the name of Artem. Very, very big man. Bear of a man, they call him. And I am going to write out a letter asking if Artem can meet me in the morning before the Congress.
Old.
Okay. Before we play that out, I need Artem. I need Chase to roll a charisma and either persuasion, politics, or
No
etiquette.
persuasion. I have no politics. I have no etiquette. So we have 3 dice we're going to roll for this.
And Artem, I need you to roll a wits and insight. Holy
Okay.
shit.
You know,
7,
I literally
6, 4.
rolled 8999. He's not even kidding.
And what did Chase roll?
7, 6, 4.
Okay. All right. So it's not a competition. It's just how you were going to perform your things. Okay. So you scribble. What do you write? Exactly.
Oh, gosh. Obviously, the Artem of this time wouldn't know who he is, so he's not going to try to like explain who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So he introduces himself and asks for a meeting before the Congress so that we may see what of our goals might align, as having more allies is better than having none, and allies that others don't know about can be particularly effective.
Okay. So a couple things. What language are you writing this in? What does it look like? Because you are writing in quill and ink.
Mm.
And how are you signing this to where, or wording this to convince Artem to meet this human nobody from France,
Yep.
who is historically, as you know, from acing somehow that course, France
Yep.
was the 5th power, the 5th major power. So Russia had a little bit more important things to do than to deal with France.
Yep. So Robbie knows that as the 5th power, they almost didn't get into the inner circle or the inner council, but they did by making secret alliances in the background. Erin.
So is this that?
So I know French because Francois knows French. Does Francois know other languages?
Francois definitely is a polyglot. So I'm gonna say if you with your successes, I'm gonna say if you want, you could write it in Russian.
I would.
Okay.
Wow.
And then at the bottom, where I sign it, I am going to put some sort of iconography that I may have picked up from Artem that references gangrels.
What would you have put?
I don't know. You have a wolf head on the stream.
What would Chase have put?
Robbie doesn't know enough about the lore to know that, but if there was something that he may have picked up on.
Yeah, Chase knows that Artem turned into a bear.
Okay.
Well,
Like a bear-ish kind of. Like he didn't turn into a bear, but like he's very much a bear. Like
Then I think maybe within the body of the text there would be a few different allusions or analogies to the strength of a bear and sort of ferocity and sort of things like that, hoping that he picks up on like I know something.
okay. So, this is you were sending this to a kindred, so it will not arrive until evening time. It'll arrive earlier, but he won't read it until the evening. Um, you, I'll go back to like the stuff that you have to do during the day, but for the manner of this letter, the boy brings it to the Artem. Where are you during the Congress of Vienna, and what is your purpose for attending?
I am serving directly under Alexander the Tsar,
Okay.
who is also a kindred.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna write that
And
down.
there would absolutely be no reason for anyone to know that Artem is there. So this is gonna fuck with him, and I'm immediately going to be pretty fucking suspicious of whatever's going on. Nobody should even know my name, but the Tsar.
Okay. So when it reaches you, the courier arrives before you are awake, arrives to your house's staff, and the houseman takes the letter and saves it until you are awake. Artem from 1814. Make a rouse check when you wake up.
So cool.
This is so weird.
How many do I roll for rouse check? I forget.
Just one.
I'm sorry.
Just one
Just
to
one?
see if you get hungrier.
Okay, 6.
Yep, you're fine. So you wake up and you are the sort of like all eyes are on the main powers for this fair division of Europe, and you have other things to worry about than food. As you open the door to the very stoic wrapping of the houseman, and he hands you on a platter a cup, a goblet of blood, and fresh. This is even for like people who are not baggers. You are able. This is like something that has just been taken out of a person and put into a glass and given to you with this letter.
Okay. I kind of grimace at the flask, or at the goblet, whatever the fuck you said it was. What was it? A chalice?
Yeah, goblet, whatever.
Yeah.
An old cup.
Yeah. I love. I pick up the letter, start reading it.
So, with your 17 successes, how do you react favorably to this letter?
How do I react favorably?
Even if it's like you're skeptical, like how do you react in that you Chase is going to get what he wants? How do you react?
Oh. Well, that's hard to say. I don't know that. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna go. I'm interested. I'm very interested in what's going on. Maybe not for the best reasons.
Yeah, I imagine.
But I am very interested in why this human man knows who I am and knows how to contact me.
Someone knows my name, but not for long.
So, at this moment, we go back to the attic. Artem, you have a moment where you kind of dissociate as you are climbing up to the attic stairs, and you forget, you lose time for like a few seconds, and you manage to find your way up in the attic. And as you come back to, and you kind of like your out of body experience ends, and you see Josette kind of like you had placed Chase down on the table, and Josette's sort of like a mother would, like adjusting like hair and stuff. You realize a piece of your life or your own life has changed.
Shit.
And
How does that? How do I feel that? Like
how do you feel that?
I don't know.
This is new shit.
I guess we'll have to see what happens between Chase and Artem.
Yeah.
So
So all you have so far is that there is a weird sort of deja vu moment where
that's how I was imagining it, was
yeah,
deja vu.
we're gonna say it's like the smell of like it's like a very fine like a almost like a very fine vintagey smell of like musk and old pure linen and like dust of like an attic is like something that you have like an old attic, old city in Philadelphia, and the old historic homes in Philadelphia all have this sort of haunting thickness, like a weight in what you are breathing in. And it sort of reminds you of moments in history. And this is like Kindred, depending on how old you are, you've lived through so many moments, and they all hold a different weight. For some, being in the trenches of war and that smell of dirt and blood mixed together, and the shrapnel and the metal that comes, or like the gun oil that sort of seeps into the ground, has a different sort of impact as somebody who grew up in with like fineries in like elite households, and something as very minuscule as the way like port wine smells in a crystal glass. It's all there's all different kinds of heaviness and lightness, and this is sort of a headiness that you are picking up on that throws you into like this weird cycle where you experience something but you're not actively experiencing it. It's this moment where all of a sudden you remember something that you had never remembered before. It's a new memory.
Plain.
Everything all right, boy?
Yeah, just remembered something, as if I was never there before.
What
It
do you
is
mean?
It is nothing. It has nothing to do with this. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Now, Artem, what do you mean?
Just weird. I
You
just
don't bring
remember.
you don't bring anything up if it doesn't mean anything. So obviously it means something.
Just thought about this time that I went and met this weird Frenchman at the Congress of Vienna.
You were at the Congress of Vienna.
Yes, I have told this story. I was there for Alexander the Tsar.
Yes, but you never told me about meeting a strange man, did you?
I just remembered about it. I must have just forgotten. I don't know.
Aaron,
Hmm.
if he's told Josette this story before, which I'm assuming he would have, because they both love history and they've had like extensive conversations on history, and
What's the
she would
czar
be
like?
she would be especially interested in any lived history Artem has experienced.
This is something that me and Emma have talked about together.
Yes.
It's like,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That you have talked about it out of game. I'm gonna let you choose instead of roll what feels weird to Josette and what feels like okay, that makes sense.
I think the thing that would feel weird to her is him saying it feels like I'm living it for the first time.
Remembering it for the first time.
Yeah. Because Artem has lived an extensive life, and Josette and Artem have talked in length about some of the experiences he's lived through. But that's never something he's brought up before. I think for Josette, especially like even when he's recalling memories to talk about them in the historical context, they've never been brought up that way. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Josette would recognize Artem as a very sentimental person, whereas that would be something that he would say.
Yeah, I would even go as far to say that between you and Rosalind, maybe there's like a friendly banter back and forth about like talking about Artem in front of him, and like you would have like the pieces put together of what is like, oh, that's so arty kind of thing. Like you would know what is Artem and what is not.
It would almost be like you told me that literally nothing happened at the Congress of Vienna. Basically, it would be something like that.
Yeah.
Like
Artem, you don't remember things like that. And you never mentioned any meeting with a man.
I do not know what to tell you.
And Josette would look to Rosalind. Has he ever told you this story?
No. And he does talk a lot about it. I mean, to be honest, because that's one of his things he's really proud about, that he was there in that historical moment. But kind of think of it, he really hasn't ever really said anything about it, meeting somebody in particular.
It was actually very boring. I remember it like nothing ever happened. I was just there as part of his guard.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what you've told me. You were just there as a guard. You never mentioned any sort of meeting with anyone.
I'm trying to remember details. I don't. And at this, I like aside because we haven't gone any further. I don't think Artem would remember anything else yet, right?
Right.
It's currently
It's
manifesting.
all
Yeah.
very, very fuzzy.
We are gonna take a 5-minute break. 5 to like 10-minute break. But we will be back with more That's So Arty. When we come back. So BRP, everybody.
Erin,
What? Okay.
Oh, we heard that. Oh, bye.
What about now?
Oh, wait.
we heard that part.
We heard, goddamn it, crystal clear.
Okay, are we good?
Well, now we're hearing you.
Yeah, but there's still
we
a
heard you
lag.
click.
Yep, can see you moving.
Okay.
We're here. We're here in the stream.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Yes, welcome back while we solve technical difficulties.
I think it's because the BRB thing makes me lag. But
Okay.
now you're lagging still. You're lagging. What does it look
We're only
like?
hearing like one word every time you speak.
No!
Here's the thing. Like, she's not lagging.
It's got to be
In the
Discord
stream.
then, right?
It's gotta be Discord. It's gotta be Discord. I'm gonna get out of Discord and come back in. Let's see if this works. Okay. What about now?
Can you hear
That
us?
was
There you go.
perfect. We heard that.
All right, good. We're back.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. It was Discord, but also my computer. Wait, now you look like you're lagging. Can you hear me?
You hear us?
Now,
Sounds
now,
so
yeah, now we haven't heard
weird.
anything for
Where
a minute.
are you?
Everything
And
was lagging.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
We don't know what's going on.
Gritty, get out of the system.
Fuck you, Grady. Oh wait, no, don't. Okay. This should be fine now.
Okay.
No.
Oh, now
we
you're
heard four
back.
words in a row. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Erin?
Yes.
What?
What?
What is happening?
That's what
I
happens.
don't know. I'm
Things
gonna
take time.
restart Discord. I will be right back. All right. While they're all doing their thing, I'm gonna restart. We're gonna go here. I'm gonna go back in. Gonna launch Discord. As soon as it's ready. Waiting for Discord. Waiting for you, Discord. Anyways, if this is the new internet that Chase has invented, because the poll ended and Chase invents the internet, that's why. What the fuck is happening? Alright, we'll see how this looks. Hold, please, everybody. What about now?
Yo, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa! Okay.
Cool. Whew.
success.
Jesus!
The ShrekNet lives.
Oh my god.
That was wild. Okay. I'm gonna vamp for a
Artem, you ready to kill
minute.
We good to go,
Frenchman?
guys?
I don't know. Are we? Oh no.
Erin, are you still here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, no.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, wait, we heard that. We heard that.
That's not a good.
Heard
Well,
that.
that all
Heard
sounded good
that.
right there.
That sounded fantastic.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get rid of all my notes. All my tabs. Is everything good? No. Why is it like this?
They're getting rid of all their notes and all their tabs to see if it works.
I hate it. I hate it. I'm gonna get rid of the sounds. Okay.
This is wild.
How about now?
The technical difficulties.
What if I do this
I can
too?
hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
We
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hello.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello?
Welcome.
Are we all hearing
I
each
think
other?
we're all here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Testing, 1, 2,
Okay.
3.
No more sounds. So use your imagination. Victorian, well, not Victorian, Regency sounds of Austria. Whatever the fuck that looks like. Anyways, welcome back, everybody.
I wasn't hearing any sounds anyways, so.
Mhm.
Well, chat was, so now,
Oh.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
yeah, it's okay.
We will immerse you, chat. Fucking sounds.
Thank you for
Plop,
your
plop, clip,
patience.
plop.
I think what
We are own
started
Foley artists.
Yeah.
I think what started it was I had added music to the BRB screen, and the BRB screen is a video and a slideshow and music. So I think it was just too much for my computer to handle, and then it fucked everything. Yeah, I'll put it in post, Lloyd. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay.
We're back.
We're back. Finally. That's what we get for voting on Chase inventing the internet. We just get fucked up
What won,
internet.
by the way?
The internet one did, and that's why all this stuff happened.
He's busy reinventing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I
Yeah.
can make this so much better.
Yeah, totally. So we are back in the attic, and Ephraim is the tail end of the group, and he pulls up the stairs for all of you and approaches Chase and says, so what are we doing here with this particular baby child boy?
We were hoping that you could help us with that.
What?
Well,
Not right
we
now.
want
Go back
him
upstairs,
to
Cheryl.
wake up,
Really? Thank you.
but we're not sure how to get him to do that. We tried feeding him. It did not work like normal torpor would work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you would come here, but is there a reason why you would come here? Did somebody refer you to me, or...
Well, I have experienced a couple of strange things since. I heard someone from my past speaking in my head after this happened while I was trying to figure out what was going on with him.
Somebody in your past?
He was a kindred named Etienne from France. We met briefly. We were not closely acquainted, but he was a friend of my sire's.
Okay.
I heard him.
And- Please.
I heard him speaking to someone named Francois, who I don't know. But then
I think that was also the name of the guy. That was the name of the guy that signed the letter. It's Francois.
what?
Yeah, the weird memory that I was telling you about that suddenly just it came back to me. That was his name, Francois. Probably no connection. Don't worry about it. You just reminded me when you said the name. That is all. There is no way that the Francois that I met at the Congress of Vienna is the same Francois that you are talking about. That would be
How,
ridiculous.
well, how common is that name?
Francois for French.
It's fairly
It
common.
it is French for Frank. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, so it's just Frankie.
Well,
It is a
that's
fairly
cute. That's
common
cute.
name.
14%, by the way.
As that conversation happens, it sort of muffles into the sound of what a conversation would sound like if you were underwater. And we sort of go focus on Chase, who is lying on the table, and go zoom into what would be his consciousness. And Francois, the one and only, is knocking on the door of a proposed meeting point for him and Artem.
Knock, knock. Do I just go in? I'll check the door.
I mean, it's locked. This is a very serious political weekend.
Okay. I'll do like a secret knock. Like dum 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 dum.
I don't know. Artem, is that the secret knock?
Oh, am I in this place?
Oh, yeah. This is like, we're back in 1814 is the meeting point between you and Chase.
So I was there waiting for him.
Oh, you set the place up. So there's a kill room in there and everything.
Yeah. The door unlocks and just slightly opens.
Hello. You don't know me, and I know that I shouldn't know you.
And at that, as soon as he says that, like, I'm going to reach to the door and grab him and pull him through and hold him up on the wall by his chest.
Yep, and I'm
A good slam into the wall.
And I'm
Probably.
aware that you don't want me to know you and that I'm not walking out of here alive, which means that you might as well just listen to me before you do whatever you're going to do to me.
I was wondering when the society would catch me.
I don't.
But how did you find me? That is my question.
I don't know what the society is.
Throws him across the room.
Ouch. Something probably breaks.
Yeah, you are a human, so something does break. You get to pick what breaks.
Oh, nice. We'll go with like a rib or two.
Okay. You feel a crack in your side, and the wind gets knocked out of you. And as you inhale, there's seems to be like a extra like breath side by side with the one you were inhaling, like when you puncture like two holes into a balloon and like the air comes out of both sides. That's what's going on right now.
All right.
On top of that, since he is a human right now, I'm full donned.
Okay. So you don't have, that's a free roll, right? I don't have any of my notes. Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Would my unswayable mind affect that at all?
Nope.
Okay.
You're a human being. For right now, no. That's you are tossed around enough that the human part of you takes precedence in this moment over the kindred part of you.
I say then to my beast, oh yeah, now you want to go hide in the corner. Fucking cool.
Yeah, you in that moment you feel very human. The reminder of your mortality as the rib cracks under your skin, and it is louder than any beast in this moment. And you look up and you see this looming silhouette of a broad, tall, formidable being in front of you. You have seen Artem mad before, but you had the benefit of being on the other side of that, in a safe space where he wasn't performing daunt on you, but rather a unfortunate victim. You see the growing. What does daunt look like for you, Artem?
It is like you said. It is like the growing figure and like the fucking the darkness around him. Almost like the cracking of bones as like parts of his body is shifting into different shapes. And he's becoming more to the people affected by Dawn, more beast-like.
And you get to lead this conversation with Chase. Chase, you are frightened. You've never seen Artem like this.
I mean,
It
he
is.
used this against the Black Spiral Dancer.
I mean, you've never seen him at you like this.
Yeah. I'm not going to kill you just yet. Because I need to know who gave you my name.
I want, or I will, someday see you tear a Black Spiral Dancer in half like paper. So I know how dangerous you are. So keep in mind that I wouldn't have came here and put myself in this situation if I didn't think I had information you might be able to use.
What
And I have
is...
no intention of lying to you, as strange as what I may tell you sounds.
Choose words carefully, friend.
Why I'm here. Do you know a kindred by the name of Etienne or Lucien?
Da.
Okay. I am supposed to participate in the Congress to help expand territory, privilege politics for Kindred. I'm aware of how
The
that
Kindred
sounds,
know. We know that.
and they're supposed to change me if I do that.
You are to be embraced.
What I'm told. No one benefits from France entering the Congress. It's the fifth smallest of the four.
I do not care about politics
I
or
know
any
you
of
don't.
this.
I know you don't, but Russia does. That's why they're here, right?
Hmm?
And if the four major powers are split on anything, how will anything be decided? Imagine if Mother
That is...
Russia had a third that could sway any votes their way.
I am not the right person to talk about
You get
that
things.
with.
No, but you can put me into contact with those who do.
Then why did you ask for me and not someone else? Do you know why I'm here?
Not entirely, but I know that muscle is your forte. So this is the weird part that I'm going to tell you. Sometime in a world of tomorrow, younger kindred find ways to use the resonance of blood to do peculiar things, to replicate things.
You are
And
talking about alchemy.
yes, I
It is nothing new.
mentioned it to the Etienne, and he didn't know what I was talking about. So You're looking at Francois, this body. I'm not currently Francois. I was experimenting with alchemy, and when I woke up, I was in Francois's body.
I am throughout this. I do have Eyes of the Beast. I would like to say that I was looking through Eyes of the Beast, so I can see more, and I would like to be able to gauge whether or not he's lying by reading those things.
Okay.
Like his pulse and everything. Like, whenever I'm engaged in that, like, I can hear, like, his fucking heartbeat and all that shit.
Yeah. So,
And also, for that reason, I will also, like, kind of calm down on the daunt to, I guess, smell his natural fear.
okay. Chase, first of all, is that a free action? Or is it a free, like, there's no rouse check or anything?
Eyes of the Beast?
Mm-hmm.
Eyes of the Beast is free, I do believe.
Okay. I rely on you guys because I don't have my notes up. Chase, what is as Chase, what is your fear right now?
I think the pain is new, that he hasn't had a chance to really feel that in this body, but I think he's still operating or hoping that if something bad happens to him, he will just wake up, since he has no idea that this is affecting present day Artem. So I think his fear right now is that he's found some sort of connection back to his time, even if this isn't the same Artem. This is a dangerous Artem. It's still something that he knows and feels connected to, and I think he's afraid that if this doesn't work, he has no idea what his next course of action is going to be. I think it's probably more of a like desperation than fear.
Artem rips his shirt and his jacket off, and he is looking for markings, specifically for the Leopold Society.
I sure hope he isn't part of that.
What is the Leopold Society?
I don't know.
The Society of Leopold was the society established of hunters after the First Inquisition.
Ooh. You do not see any sort of hunter insignia on him. With that, knowing, like, seeing nothing there.
And also, like, as he's like looking, he's all very animalistically, almost like sniffing you up, trying to see if he smells death on you.
You do. You smell Nosferatu on him.
Okay.
You also, as you are kind of like investigating him in a very primal way, you could hear his heartbeat, and he sounds scared, but he does not sound like he is lying. His heartbeat is quickened with fear, but not with hiding something.
It is strange.
Yeah.
When you talk, you say these preposterous things, and yet you do not sound like you are lying. You do not smell like a hunter. You would have death all over you. I smell nos.
That would be Lucian. Yeah.
I know. Okay. Let's start over, and you will tell me everything.
Okay. I do then. I tell him about... I think I start with how I know him, that I am part of his coterie, that he has taught me how to fight. I think that might be going over some of the things that... lessons that he would have known that kind of shows, like, this is more than just I heard your name or, like, someone gave me information about you. Like, these are things that he probably would have, taught. And then I would talk about Rosalind and Josette and how I am very young and recently changed, and how I was looking into the alchemy as a way to bring something to our group to be able to protect them. Ended up here, and then go through everything that's happened since being here so far. And here we are now, with me telling you ridiculous stories about the future that I am aware sound out there.
I do not believe a single word of anything that you just said.
Yeah, great, perfect.
And I do not believe that I taught you anyone. If you have been trained by hunters, then you know how to fight like Hunter.
I haven't.
But you
I
do
don't-
not smell like Hunter.
Yep.
That works in your benefit a little bit. I just wonder who benefits from this.
Right now, I don't know. It could be Russia. It could be your...
Take out politics. I do not care about politics.
Okay. Can I... Because I know he's in there because he was looking forward to it. Can I try to invoke my beast somehow?
Mm-hmm. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Role play it. Don't worry about a mechanic.
Yeah. I think that he would kind of close his eyes for a moment and just focus on... No, I think he'd recall that moment on the bridge and all the emotions behind that, the need to protect, the instinct to try and save Josette, the smell of the blood, both intoxicating and nauseating as it was to him to think about it. And with those memories, the one time that he let his beast out and have it take control, he tries to sort of coax it back out with that thought, with those memories.
So, as you do that, Artem is gonna, like, grab you by the chin and open up your eye and just start, like, looking into it real hard. It's gonna be like, you have your beast, but you are kind.
The alchemy has... I don't know what other way to put it. It let me time travel. All right? I just want to go home, but I don't know how to do that. So until then, I have to be Francois.
As you say,
You are the-
Francois,
Oh,
if you've seen Haunting of Hill House,
Nope, hate scary movies.
okay. You say Francois. And as you stop, but you don't stop saying it. So you say Francois, and your mouth gets slowly open more lower and lower and lower, and your jaw unlocks a little to allow your mouth to get even longer. And you're still saying, "ah," and your mouth goes down. And time slows down to like the pulling of molasses, like the manual stretching of hot molasses. And while that's happening, we're going to go back to the other three. And this is what you all see. Chase's eyes on the table open wide, but they're vacant. They're not a different color, they're not glossed over, they're just vacant. His mouth opens to that same length as before, but there's no sound. Josette, you see the struggle, not necessarily pain, but the challenges of trying to communicate through torpor. And Artem, another wave of memories hits you as you understand with this divulgence of truth that the person on the table you have met before in the body of Francois. And Francois said a very specific name before you even met this person. Rosalind. And Rosalind, at that moment, you are hit with the memory of Artem one day divulging that he knew of you before he met you. And all of this hits at once. How do the three of you react?
What the fuck, dude? I was like,
What the fuck?
If you guys need time to think, Josette is immediately by Chase's side, grabbing a hand, sort of just like trying to find any way that she can to show him that she's there, even though she knows that he's not really seeing her. She's trying to figure out what's going on. She's looking for the doctor, trying to figure out if he knows anything or will, seeing this, if anything comes to him about what to do. Because she right now is playing the part of the terrified mother who has no idea what's happening and is just desperately trying to find someone who has the fucking answers to save the person that's most important to her.
Also, out of curiosity, did any of the wounds that he suffers as Francois manifest on Chase's body?
No.
Okay.
Dr. Gloom is on the other side of the table, and he's sort of looking like helplessly. Torpor looks different. He can deal with caring for somebody in torpor. There's movement, there's shit happening with the other two. He looks at you kind of helplessly, Josette, and says, I need more information. I need everything what do you two know? And he turns to the other two.
okay, how about this is what's like that movie, like Freaking Friday.
What?
Artem, yes, it's exactly like Freaky Friday. But there's something bigger happening here. Honestly, I don't, until this point, and it seems so weird to say, I don't feel like I had these things in my head before.
You're experiencing this too.
Memories.
Yeah,
yes.
there's something that's there. This is a part of something bigger, and I can't tell you what it is, but
I have
for some reason, Art, I have this memory. Artem, do you remember telling me that you had heard about me before?
Yes.
And why?
I
There's
remember
some-
more about the Congress of Vienna.
What's driving this?
Francois was Chase. I did not know that at the time. But he said he was Chase. I remember it all now.
Josette blinks as the reality of it kind of hits her, and she's like, "Boy, do not mess with me right now." What?
Yes. I thought he was man from Leopold Society. There was no other explanation at the time. But now I believe him. 200 years later.
So this is all happening. I feel like we're all getting these things that are hitting us right now, right? Like Artem, you remember all these things, and I'm remembering all these different things. So that doesn't have to. That I feel like that's not a coincidence. There's got to be some sort of key here.
Josette
Why-
looks to the doctor. There's no way he could have traveled in time.
What? No. 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 Vampires are too powerful on their own. That's fucking crazy. But he also looks like fucking crazy right now. Look at him. His jaw is like unhinged. Give me all of the names again of all of these people that are happening in this weird reality. What is so important about the Congress of Vienna?
Nothing is important about Congress of Vienna. Who cares about that? But I met a man named Francois.
Francois,
who said he was Chase. I broke his ribs and bustled him up a little bit. But
what other names?
Josette goes a little paler.
What other names do you have? What do you have for me? Anything?
Etienne, Lucien, the Nosferatu. I remember.
Do they not have last names? What's happening? Are they a first name society? What's going on? Can you get the last names? I don't know. Can you time travel? Can we get last names, please?
Emma is trying to remember Etienne's last name. Please hold.
You don't remember Etienne's last name.
Etienne Dubois.
Ah, you do remember Etienne's last name. Okay. Where are you, Josette? And, what are you doing next to Chase?
She is, one of her hands is holding his.
You say Etienne Dubois out loud?
Yes.
Okay, please hold. So we go back in time to 1814. And you have Artem, who is standing before Francois. And there is a moment of kind of trying to figure out what the underlying situation is here. How does it relate to the Congress? How does it relate to the future? How do the pieces fit? You both hear an echo of a voice. Artem from the past and Francois hear a echo of a voice. Sounds like Josette. And it sounds very distant until it comes into crystal clear present. And it's Etienne Dubois. And on the Dubois of Josette's voice her incorporeal form manifests in between the two of you, like a triangular kind of situation. And Josette, as you are holding onto Chase's hand, your present world is replaced with the one in 1814. And you can see very clean cut, very put. What does Artem look like in 1814 for the Congress?
He's trying to look pretty inconspicuous, so probably a long coat and some nice clothes. I don't really know. Probably
Yeah.
nothing too standoutish.
Longer hair,
Really.
tied back, ribbon, clean cut, very European.
Yeah.
Or Eastern European. And you see for Francois, he did not die as he leapt off the wall on the Widow's Walk. And he is there's a broken table underneath him, and there are kind of papers scattered. You see his shirt and jacket are sort of torn and disheveled. Artem looks fine. Artem also looks like he is the person in power in this dynamic, and Francois looks tousled.
That's my mom.
What is this? I've never seen a wraith that looks so normal.
And I think at that, Josette would immediately step between Artem and Chase. She doesn't know this Artem, but she has heard much from Artem. And about how he was when he was a younger Kindred from their conversations. And as tiny and unassuming as she is, there is a different look in her eye as she sort of steps between you and Chase, Artem.
Is she fully there? Or is it an incorporeal
It's incorporeal.
form?
She's there, but it's different from a wraith. It's not this like kind of crystalline sort of like misty look. It is it's and it's more than just like the Princess Leia kind of hologram look. It's like a fucking Casper when he turns into the boy, like right in between. So he's like it's like 80% opacity. It's like almost all the way there.
Josie, it's fine. It's fine. We have an accord here. You just can you wake me up?
We're trying to figure out how. What did you do?
I don't know. I was trying some formula and the beast ate it. And then I was in this body.
Okay. What was in the formula?
It was your blood and some other random blood that we had. They just have random stuff, I guess, and I was experimenting. I don't know why the beast wanted to take it, why he needed to do that, but here we are.
You are not Kindred. You are not wraith. What are you? Talking to Josette.
And she looks at you, Artem.
Says, I am Kindred. Just not from your current time. This is going to be so strange later.
I've told him already.
Yes, I know. Chase.
What?
Artem knows. Current Artem knows.
Oh no.
Rosalind, you can see Josette speaking, but you don't see Chase interacting. You just see Josette.
Whatever you're doing here, It's changing what's happening out there.
I was trying to just do what happens in history.
What do you mean?
The French enter the Congress. Right now they aren't, but I know they do it through like secret alliances. So I was trying to make one to get into the committee. Artem knows like the Russians.
This is all very strange.
I know.
Okay. So... And Josette kind of puts her head in her hands. C'est alors. And looks at Artem. You report to... You are guarding those who are of higher station. I don't know if getting him through this and letting him work his way into Congress will put him back to present time. So we're going to try that. Who does he need to speak to in order to make that happen?
Why would I let you speak to anyone? I do not know either of you. You just
You
come
will.
in here and...
And that is enough.
So you think.
And the nickname slips out without her even thinking about it. And
She says, Boya, you have told me more about this version of you than I have learned from any other kindred. You have hundreds of years by the time I know you. Now is not the time for questions. Now is not the time for suspicion. Now is the time to take action so that you can go back to Alexander and you can do what you need to do to get to the present you.
I am intrigued. Very well. You wait here. I will get who you need to talk to.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go tell the Czar's guys.
I
Come
met
meet
this
at the
dude
same
in
place.
a warehouse.
This is going to sound crazy.
So Josette, as he leaves, you feel like a stretching of the triangle that you two had, like that sort of bond between all three of you. As soon as Artem left, like stretched enough, that bond was broken, and you can feel yourself, despite holding onto Chase's hand in the present, you can feel yourself pulling away from the past. You have maybe, I'm going to say about 10 more seconds to get anything you want out.
And I think she is going to look at Chase in that moment and realizing she does not have a lot of time.
Be careful. Do not throw yourself off any ledges.
Chase will smile and say, "You crossed time to find me?" And then
I
he
don't-
snaps.
yeah, I was going to say, I don't think she gets time to reply.
Nope, she does not. That was exactly 10 seconds. And you feel like a pulling back, like almost like something like a tug behind your belly button, sort of like pull from your back and thrust you back into the present. And I want Artem and Josette and Chase to each tell me the one front-facing feeling, like emotion that they felt during that scene, because that is what Rosalind picked up during that entire thing.
Which Artem?
Um,
One in the past.
so this is going to be Artem in the present with this new knowledge from the past.
Oh, definitely fucking shock.
Mm-hmm.
I think for Josette, it's relief. Just knowing that she at least knows what's happening. There's a level of relief and hope that maybe with more information, they'll be able to fix it.
I think for Chase, this has all been a panic. This has been a nightmare. This has been terrifying, especially meeting Artem and not knowing how that was going to go. And in the thick of all of it, to have Josette show up like a force ghost out of the future 200 years into the past to save him again. Probably love.
Okay. Dr. Gloom. So those are Rosalind, that's what's going through your head right now. Dr. Gloom looks at Josette as Josette comes back into like the present moment. And Chase, your jaw snaps back into place. You're the present Chase. And he looks up at Josette and kind of like watches her, like kind of ducks a little bit to like see, like investigate what you're very Tim Roth, like very much like looking at you. And he says, Lucien, Francois. Those are the names I have, yes?
Yes. I think I know a little bit more about what happened. So strange. I went back. I saw.
Saw what?
I saw him as Francois, and
Me.
I talked to Artem.
You knew? And he looks at Artem.
I remember now.
This is fucking wild. You, and he looks at Rosalind. What do you know?
All I know is these people I came here with, they're not the same people that I initially came here with. Something happened in this course of however many minutes have passed. They're telling the truth. Whatever it is they're saying, we need to believe them. And I've been with them for a bit of time. And during that time, I've found that they don't really lie to me. And if they're saying this in front of you and me, we should take it as the truth.
Yeah. I believe not only you, but them. Philly's weird, man. Philly is fucking... We don't have time to be dishonest. We'll be assholes. We mean it. What we say, we mean it. Also, fucking Wawa hoagies are shit. But...
Who is Wawa?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We don't need anything anyways. We just know these things. They happen. You, and he looks at Rosalind, you strike me as an empath. What do you got here? I feel like you're like speaking for the people. Vox Populi. What do you got for me?
What have I got for you?
Yeah, this one fucking is traveling. This one's traveling through time every time she touches her little baby boy. This one is realizing new shit as it comes up, and you're just believing people. What do you gotta? I guess.
Well, of course I'm gonna believe them.
You got some
I mean,
humanity left in you, yeah?
I guess you could say I have a little bit left, but what I want to say is, I've been with these. This is my family, and I don't have really much of a family left. As you know, like I know you don't really know me, but these guys are I hold them close to my heart. I love them as much as I can say I love. Why would I not? Why would they lie to me, first of all? And if they're bringing you into this, obviously there has to be some bit of truth to it. And so it honestly makes me a little. I mean, I'll be honest. It does make me a little bit angry that you think we would drive all the way out here just to lie to you. Why would we do that? Just because we're just because we're having fun? Just we don't have anything better else. We don't have nothing else better to do. No. Obviously, there's something going on here, and this is the reason we came here is because we want your help.
Yeah.
Are you the right person we should have came to?
I do not think that is what he is asking.
No, but I like it. I like it. And you're noticing like a Jeff Goldblum vibe going on with him. And he goes and he like double like flaps the attic door, and it kind of goes down, and the ladder kind of unfolds, and he goes, "You." He looks at Rosalind. You're coming with me. I need your help. I think I could use you. And he looks at Josette. Lucien Francois. Round 1814?
Yes. Also, he told me that he drank my blood and some other blood from there. He did not read the sample, which is his mistake, but...
What the fuck? Who doesn't read
but
the sample? This fucking
I
thin
don't-
blood shit. Listen, Josette, you're a Nos.
Mhm.
We're a little bit smarter than that, you know what I mean? Like, maybe next time you decide to be a mom again, you vet the people a little bit before you embrace them. I'm not judging. He seems, and he looks over at Chase, seems fine.
Josette is going to give him a stern look.
All
and
right.
say, he is smarter than he is letting on right now. Let us not judge him by his mistakes, Doctor.
Of course. All right, Mama Bear. All right. You, Toreador. I know you're a Toreador because of that melodramatic monologue you gave me. Let's go. I could use your help. You're going to be touching a lot of skulls. Is that okay with you? And he doesn't even look. He's like, yeah, you're fine. And he goes down and he waits for you to follow him down the stairs.
Is that
Yes.
Rosalind goes.
I was going to eat him.
I know. Why do you think I stepped in front of you?
For a second, I considered trying to eat you too.
Well, that would have been a grave mistake of your past self, now wouldn't it?
No.
We're gonna go back to Chase, past Chase.
So he
We're
sits
gonna
alone in this warehouse.
We're gonna skip ahead. So time sort of fast forwards, but in reverse. Like those old VCRs that had like the manual dials where you can go forward and back frame by frame. And you kind of go back and then stop and then pause at like him at the warehouse tinkering around, and then scroll back and then stop at like Josette embracing him, and then stop and then go back like 200 years to Francois. And it is now the night after one of the meetings from Congress. And Artem, you are with Francois in a kind of like a public house. with Lucien beside him and Etienne on the other side of you, celebrating over a negotiation win in which Francois was able to forge an alliance between France and Russia, where they would have like an ambassadorship relationship, like an embassy sort of situation, where they each have a stronghold of kindred, like a council between Western Europe and Eastern Europe. And this gave them sort of a leg up on goings on between what was happening in Russian politics and what was happening in French politics, because the person that they were able to put in there was were two Malkavians who were able to have a psychic connection to each other. So this was a huge win in terms of kindred, a kindred stronghold over Europe, and you're all celebrating this win. And Etienne kind of slides down another beer to Francois and clasps a hand on his back and says, "It's one of the last you'll enjoy, so drink up."
Oh, he gulps it down. Could I also add in too that at some point prior to, meeting with the Tsar in the beginnings of this happening, have had a moment with Artem to basically say, let's keep the whole time travel mom from the future thing on the down low, because otherwise people are going to think that you're crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
They already think that I'm crazy.
They don't need more reasons. But yeah, he celebrates, feeling like the I wouldn't say the worst of it is over, but at least he feels safer now, having Artem more-ish on his side, and things going the way that everybody wants them to go. It's easier to play into that. But he is a bit worried that it's probably been days now since he's been in
It's been
Francois'.
about 2 days, yeah.
Yeah. So we have a win. Everything's going good, and he's still here. He turns to Etienne. So when is it going to happen?
Finish your beer.
It's gone.
And he looks over at Lucien. Well, he will be Nos.
Have I learned Lucien's last name in the time the time this has been going on?
Mm-hmm.
You want to DM it to me?
Yeah, I do. He looks at Lucien and says, "It's I'm a Toreador. This is not my child. What do you think?" And Lucien, he's had his hands kind of splayed out in front of him on the bar and kind of staring at his palms and kind of with his eye kind of tracing over the lines of his hand. Well, is Russia happy? And he looks over to Artem.
Are you asking Artem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. Of course.
So we have Russia. We still need Spain. Britain. Russia is powerful, but we will need Britain, or we do not have anything. But I like what I have seen so far. I think we can get... I think we can continue to work with this one at night and still have the results we need. Okay. Do you want one more beer? Or another meal? It will be your last one.
Well, last of one type. No, I think I'm ready. I look up to Lucian, kind of around the room. Making a show out of it, or do you mind?
There are humans here. We will not be turning you
Okay, I
in the
didn't know where we were. I didn't know
in
where
the
we were. I'm
middle of
sorry.
a
All right, cool.
public house. I'll
All right. Yes. Well, I will retire early, and whenever Lucian is ready, I am.
Very well. Bonsoir, Francois.
Arrivederci.
Are you gonna leave?
He goes, yeah, he goes up to his room or whatever and waits nervously, hoping that this fixes it.
Artem, for a moment you are left alone with Etienne and Lucien.
Okay.
They're on either side of you, and they sort of are reflecting on how impactful this new age is for them and for all Kindred. I suppose we should negotiate. Perhaps not tonight. Tonight we are among friends. But we know the impact the human Frenchmen have in this world, and the powerhouse that Mother Russia has on global politics. But Kindred is Kindred. We do not recognize the simple borders of mortals.
You want me to go kill him?
No.
Well,
He is smart. He has done well. He has the mind of the Nosferatu, the ones who, and this is Etienne talking, and he looks over at Lucien as if asking permission to speak for a clan that is not his own. And Lucien kind of nods a little bit. Where they lack in other things, they excel in the mind. This one we chose specifically for that purpose, and he has proven himself well. And we're hoping that he might be able to call upon you for certain favors in the future.
Oh, upon me.
Call upon Russia.
I do not speak for Russia. But I am sure that with the alliance and everything, I am sure that Alexander Tsar Alexander is...
You could sway his mind. We know about how powerful and influential you could be when it comes to forcing one's hand.
Ah. We
Well,
shall see.
thank you for your time. We will be retiring now. And they both kind of simultaneously stand and push away. And while Etienne goes out the front door, or they both go out the front door, and while Etienne turns left to go down towards the brownstone, Lucien kind of looks both ways and slinks through an alley. And Chase, you, in a moment of very human complacency, is that a word? Whatever, it's a word now.
Complacency. Yes.
Complacency. There we go. Thank you. Oh my God. You hear movement before you see a shadow kind of scale through a window of the room you're in. And the third thing you notice is the rising of a dark figure before you recognize Lucien's body.
I ask you a question before we begin.
He sort of tilts his head.
Do you believe in... I know it's going to sound dumb. It's not the dumbest thing I've said, though, the past few days. Do you believe in a destiny or a fate?
No.
All right, Mr. P, whenever you're ready.
And we're going to go back to Rosalind, who is standing in front of a display case of dozens of skulls from various years. And you were standing beside Dr. Gloom. And he's sort of opening each case and scouring through, looking really, like, peering at the display tags. What were the names he said? Lucius and Frank. What are they?
Lucien
Lucien.
and Francois.
Francois. It doesn't ring a bell. Lucien does, though, maybe, but I also just watched the Harry Potter shit that was happening on ABC Family. God, actually, no, that was like 12 years ago. Never mind. Shit. Hold on. Let's look. And he's like opening each case. You are sort of feeling the feelings that you had that have come up for you are, without your heightened senses on, are still bubbling up. It's like that, the feeling of when like a bubble on the surface pops and you have that split second of like if you're like in a bubble bath and you have that split second of lavender or split second of rose, some kind of scent happens. It is like a very fleeting moment. And you have those feelings coming up that Artem and Josette have expressed to you and that you felt through the past version of Chase as Francois. And they seem to be like happening within you, but you're also feeling it around. And as you're looking through like these display cases, you're picking up on residual feelings from these skulls.
Can Rosalind kind of focus her energy on these skulls and try to see which one has like the more?
Yeah. What feelings are you focusing on?
I think that Rosalind wants to focus on basically like all the energies that Josette and Chase and Artem have spoken about, like basically everything in this like single experience that she's learned. You know, maybe she's heard it. She's like, I mean, really, she just knows their names at these points. At this point, she doesn't really know all these like intricate details, like everything that Chase and Josette have like experienced with these two names. And so I think that she's just like reaching out towards those things.
Roll wits plus investigation and add your aspects. You need 3 successes. And I'm going to roll for Dr. Gloom as well, because he's doing his own investigation. So I can use my dice from jodysdicefarm.com. Use the code PhillyByNight and get 10% off of all dice. What was his character sheet? 5.
3, 7, 5, 3, 10, 2.
Okay. So you would have failed, but I needed 3 successes for Dr. Gloom too, and he got 3 successes. So you are sort of overwhelmed with the same sort of feelings you're trying to find, that the love, the relief, and the, what was the one that Artem, what were you feeling that you... Shock. And you're feeling, from over here, you're feeling the shock of somebody about to, realizing that they're about to die. You're feeling the love of 2 lovers who are passing away side by side. You feel the relief of somebody who is so sad that they have no way to escape this world but to kick the stool out from under their feet. You are feeling so many different types of the same emotions that you're trying to focus in on to help. And Dr. Gloom, you feel a hand on your wrist. And you look over and Dr. Gloom has opened a chest, one of the cabinets, and has pulled out a skull. And he's holding it for you. And he says, I don't have any other information, but this one says, I think it's 18. He looks at the thing, at the little plaque next to it on display, and it says 1870. I know that's not 1814, but maybe. And he presents it to you. It says Lucian. There's no last name. It just says Lucian. Maybe, perhaps this is the same one.
Rosalind is going to take it and hold it in her hands. And she's going to look at it for just like, you know, a few seconds. And like as she's holding it, she's going to be like counting back. She's going to be like trying to math in her head. And she's not really great at math, but she's like, maybe if it says that maybe 1870 is like the year that he died, maybe this is something that we can do with. And so even though she doesn't really know a whole lot about the skull, except for that it matches the name, she is going to go downstairs and see if she can maybe place it on top of Chase and see if it does anything.
And back in 1814, we see Francois at the mantle of this fire that he had lit for himself. Chase, you've lived a couple of months now in this kind of weird state of transition from mortal to vampire, and thin bloods sort of have this advantage of feeling a little bit more than what typical kindred can feel, but at the same time it's like the feeling of remembering how your favorite snack as a child tasted, and then the company changing the recipe and you finding that same snack as an adult and eating it, and it doesn't taste the same. And that is what this new life is like for you. The sunshine is not as rejuvenating. The feelings that you have towards people that you find attractive on these dating sites, the hormones aren't encapsulating that sort of like new relationship energy. You go to a gas station and you pick up a can of Coke, and it doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste like how it used to taste when you were in second grade and you had a soda for once in a blue moon that your mom would let you have that extra caffeine. And when somebody tells you that they're impressed by you, or they're proud of you, or that they think that what you did was really cool, it doesn't feel as gratifying as it did when your dad used to say it to you after you caught your first fish, or your mom says it to you after you bring home a A+ on your spelling test, or your girlfriend from high school telling you that she's super impressed by how smart you are with all the things that you know about this certain subject that she's really invested in. And everything is watered down as a thin blood. You are literally a thin blood. It is not as impactful. Life feels lackluster. What does this fire feel like to you?
This is in what moment is he still in Francois?
You're in Francois, and you're recognizing that it's the last moments of being a human again.
Ah. Chase doesn't have a lot of great memories to draw on from his childhood. And when he finally got to leave home, he was leaving behind intense feelings that weren't always positive in their intensity. And I think throughout his young adult life, up until he was embraced, he found some semblance of meaning through things like social media, through amassing a following, but those things were fleeting the moment that you turned off the phone or you turned off the computer. None of that was tangible. So I think that there is a familiarity in feeling human again to that of being a thin blood in that something is missing. And he had found that with the squad, as inhuman as they may be, as he may be, he still sees the moments that warm people when we think of humanity, in the way that Artem protects people, in the way that Rosalind, even when she doesn't need to, makes people feel better about their days, or the way that Josette looks at him on movie night when the two of them think that the other doesn't notice, and he doesn't miss the watered down loneliness of a human life. He just wants to get back to his family. And that's what he sees in the warmth of the fire.
And I'm going to continue on this scene, and I want Rosalind to interrupt at any time to tell me when she puts the skull on Chase's body. And Lucien steps forward and looks at the fire as he sees that Francois has been staring at it. And he says, "What does it feel like?"
Family. I left mine. I found another.
Miss Rosalind walks up. She holds the skull in her hands, and she kind of touches the edge of the eye socket just a little bit, like very fondly, like in a very small way. And as she sets it down on, like basically on Chase's stomach, she does a little pat, like as she sets it down on top of Chase's stomach.
And Chase, you felt, as you were describing family and thinking about Josette during movie night, and thinking about Rosalind saying something kind to you when you least expected it, and seeing everybody kind of laugh with Artem as he says something completely obsolete about technology that's very endearing. And you feel the piercing of teeth against your skin, and you realize that Lucien was asking a question to protect you. He didn't have to make this a painful, miserable experience. He could still embrace his own humanity while taking yours away and give you some sort of respite through the process, so it wasn't so isolating and painful and awful. And you feel a weight on your chest, and at first it feels like the grappling of choices that you've made. And then you feel a very hard pressure about the size of your fist, maybe a little bigger. And vampires don't breathe. Kindred don't need to. But this was traveling through time, being transported from one body to another. Even for Kindred, this was hard work, and the sigh of relief is universal. And Chase, you were back in your body, staring up at an attic, maybe? And Josette.
He smiles at her. How long has it been?
To be honest, I don't know.
About 200 years. That was a joke. I joke.
Oh.
Bad timing. Sorry.
No, it was a good one though. That was a good one. He sits up and hugs Josette.
And she holds you incredibly close, making sure not to in any way crush you, but like is just clinging to you, glad to have you back.
The skull rolls off as you two embrace and falls off of the table and clatters on the ground.
I think I know where you get that kindness from.
What do you mean?
I think it runs in the family.
She raises an eyebrow. I would be quite surprised. If you're talking about the family, I think you are.
Well, I met a Lucian Pernette. He was a lot kinder than he needed to be.
That was... She kind of smiles and says, that's not my real last name. But it's nice to know that the one I took on carries kindness.
Artem picks up the skull and is like, hey, I know this guy.
And that's where we're going to end the episode. That's it. That's the end of the episode. That was good, guys. That is really where we're going to end it.
That was great.
Oh.
Yay, we did it. We got Chase back.
Boy.
We got him back.
He's back. Good boy.
And
he knows how to time travel.
That's the end of the Chronicle. So
So now we get real XP to play with?
yeah, so now you get 4 more. Because it's the end of a Chronicle, so you get 2, and it's the end of the episode, so you get 2. Because that's what I actually no, end of a Chronicle gets 2 in real life. So because we're doing because we only run these games like at the most once a month, it's 3 per Chronicle, 2 per episode. So you get 5 more today.
Damn.
Chump change, Aaron. I need like 18.
Well,
That's why you got to save them up, dog.
yeah, save them up.
I know, save them.
You know how much I got in the bank right now? 13.
Damn.
About to cash in.
Should I have 13 as well?
No,
I
he had
had some-
extra.
I had some that
Yeah.
I never spent. So
Oh,
Yeah.
well, give me some of these. Give me some of these vignettes, Aaron.
Listen,
Let me
yeah,
earn some on the side.
I was gonna say if you need some vignettes, like fucking
Yeah. I
I
can pick up some extra shifts.
All right. Yeah. Okay. How are you?
Team me up with that Lilith chick. She seems like fun.
Listen, my fucking Dark Ages character follows the path of Lilith, so I'll let you know. I'll let you know how she is. I'll let you know how she's a good time. Oh, you mean On's Lilith? You don't mean the
I did,
actual?
yes.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. How are you guys doing?
That was a lot. I am exhausted.
Yeah. That was. I was
So
very. I am so
That was
proud
so
of you
good.
guys. That was so good, like so good. So
yeah, it was fun.
incredible.
Yeah, that was so good.
I have to
Oh,
do.
the implications now. The implications. Dr.
I
Gloom.
legitimately had to decide if I wanted to kill you or not.
Dr. Gloom better keep our name out his mouth. Okay, he's the only other person that knows about this time travel business. So
We'll see.
keep it off the Shrek net.
We'll see.
Get off the Shrek net, dude.
Josette will have a
Get that
conversation
shit off
with
Shrek
him.
net.
Oh my god. So tomorrow is when Chronicle 2 is airing? No way. No. That's funny.
Oh,
I wish it was because I love this. But there is a vampire game tomorrow, and that will be Juicy and them Fatale will be doing their vignette, which will be taking place in Berlin in the 1920s, and we might be seeing some smashed Nazi heads. So we'll see. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So I want you all, while I find somebody to raid, to reintroduce yourselves because we might have some new people in chat who do not know who you are. So tell me who you are, what you're doing, where we can find you, and we'll start with Chris again.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris. I am Lord of Hot Dog in the TTRPG Collective. In Threads, Instagram, everywhere else, it's Tend to My Flames. You can find me on Ain't Got Crit. You can find me on Vox and Quill, and pretty soon you'll be able to find me on Tabletop Tailspinners for Chronicles of Krieth. And with that, I will pass it over to Emma.
Hello, everybody. My name is Emma. I am the founder and creative director of the Tabletop Tailspinners Network. We are a TTRPG podcast network that focuses on featuring those who you don't typically see at the table, like women, BIPOC creators, and many, many more marginalized creators, both at the table and at the head of the table. Where you can find us on social media is Tabletop Tailspinners, all one word in lowercase, on most platforms. We also now have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Tabletop Tailspinners, where we will be doing a bunch of fundraiser streams this coming week to raise funds to cover the costs of all of our podcasts that we're currently making, which are All Our Faults, which is a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast, which Juicy Garland, who will be starring in that vignette tomorrow with them Fatale, is in as a vampire as well. We also have two D&D 5e podcasts, both of which I GM, one of which is a long-term D&D 5e campaign called Chronicles of Krieth, which we are starting recording on the second campaign here soon. And as stated, the wonderful Chris and Robbie will also be a part of that second campaign. And I run a 5e improv podcast called Improv Madness, in which all of the one-shots are completely improvised, as well as the characters that are played in it. So go there to see how some characters are randomly made and then played within the same night. But with that, I will go ahead and pass it on to Robbie.
I'm Robbie. You can find me over at Robbie_Landis here on Twitch. We do homebrew stuff. We talk about D&D, tabletop RPGs, everything from DMing to being a player to creating characters, how to handle situations, just hanging out and making new friends in the space. And we put all those homebrew creations on our Patreon at Cloaks and Capes. So if you had fun tonight with me, go and follow and let's hang out sometime. And Kori.
It's Kori. You can find me on Instagram, Lanesaw Chassis, or probably the more fun one to follow would be my band. It's a punk band where I'm the lead singer. Chainsaw Lassie, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, anywhere you find music. It's probably the more fun one to follow. But yeah.
Amazing. Also, the song Laughing It Off is the best song in the world. I listen to it probably once every other week at least. It's great. I love it so much. And I am your storyteller, erinmylaundry. You can find me at the TTRPG Collective or on Twitch at erinmylaundry or on Threads and Instagram at _erinmylaundry because someone's a bitch and took that name before I could. And yeah, I love VTM. I love all the people that I've worked with. I love this group so fucking much. And I am really just like super impressed. And this was one of the greatest episodes I've ever GM'd, just because of how well everybody just like kind of like took off and role played. I'm not a huge like mechanics person. I'm very rule of cool, and y'all are very fucking cool. So it was great, and I really appreciate y'all. So with that, we are going to raid Veotritz. They are playing Hunter. And they are, I hope it worked. Okay, cool. And they have, I love to raid down, so we're gonna raid to Beatrice. Everybody support them. They've got the ADHD tag up. They've got mental health tag up. They've got emotional VTuber up, and we love all those things. So they're playing Hunter. It seems like a great time. I haven't listened to it or vetted it, so I can't speak for them, but I can speak for us and our characters. So please go over there and give them your full support. And join us tomorrow when we go to Berlin and punch some Nazis in the face and have a really good time. And I really appreciate you all so much. And that's it from me. So everybody say bye, because I don't have a goodbye screen. Actually, I do. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna raid. Okay, everybody say bye.
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 Bye.